So if you can see, I'm just printing the capacity of this vector. So by default it is 10. So at the time of creation of the vector itself, I could give the capacity, initial capacity, like what could be the, the initial, instead of by default 10, I could give you the higher number of capacity. So in that case, it will give you the higher capacity, as well as like how much in the next time when this threshold will be completed. If you remember, we were discussing in the uh, this uh, 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 document, like yeah, so in this document, like the initial capacity, the load factor, and the threshold. So once it is, the it will reach the threshold. Like for example, I incremented it into the 20. In this case, the threshold will be the 20. So how much you want to add in the next increment? Instead of 20, you could add actually the custom value as well. So I will say, like, instead of 20, next time add 40. So that we could do from the this side. So this is how you could add. So there are many other methods from the API. So if you could see, default, obviously we are used, we could pass the collection as well, and we have set the initial capacity and the capacity increment, whatever we want, the custom capacity increment that we could add. So add method we already seen. We could add the index and the element as well. So there are other methods, like we could add the all. Let's say we have one vector and we could create another vector. Uh, let's say I'm creating it with the by default capacity, and I could add this vector into the vector 2 by using the add all method. So what it will do is it will take this vector collection as an input. That is also possible, right? So similarly, we could use the add element. We could print the capacity. We could clear the data from the particular vector. Let's say int vector dot clear. So this will clear all the values from the vector. So if I will say for each, this is another loop for each, sorry, yeah. So I could say integer int val int vector. So create a constant. Let me use the for loop. And I could simply sysO say like int val. So in this way, it will print the value. So int val, yeah, it already cleared. It is actually printing the capacity 20. I thought it is printing the value. So it is printing the it is not printing any value because it has nothing, because I cleared it. So some similarly we could check the contains all, copy elements. I mean, there are various methods that you could get. We already used in the last example. We could check whether it is empty. You could return the iterator, the last index. You could remove the values. You could set particular value at this particular index. So all these methods are there. You could try by yourself in the vector. So I'm not going to give you the complete example. The reason why is, like, this vector collection is very less is I mean used in the current scenarios, because people are mostly migrated to the list. But if you are going back like 15 years back old, or maybe 10 years back old, in the servlet, where it was difficult to manage, like the multi-threading is very difficult to manage the list and other things, so people used to use the vector collection as the data type. So this is what all about the vector.